You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I'm back. Rodriguez for Black and White Sports 2. Well, we're going to talk about Tomi Lahren because she went off, and I do mean went off, about WNBA star BRITTNey Griner. She's saying a lot of the same things that myself and Matrix have been saying. It's like, oh, now you want to get patriotic? Now you want to show respect for the country? Now you want to ask for the country's help? After you disrespected it, involving the BLM and protesting the national anthem, you didn't want to come out for the national anthem? It's like, oh, so we're a country of convenience all of a sudden. And I've been very vocal about the fact that, you know, maybe she's learned a lesson, right? Look, when you get involved with that narrative that the WNBA was preaching, that radical leftist narrative, that blatant lie, okay, about things like oppression, BRITTNey Griner has discovered what true oppression really is. Well, Tomi Lahren of Outkick, she's a Fox News contributor too. She didn't hold back. This is the conservative brief right here. Fox News personality Tomi Lahren tore into WNBA star BRITTNey Griner and her plight to get back to the United States, whose national anthem she protested. In a video for Outkick, because she's got a new show called Fearless, Lahren tore a strip of Griner and her national anthem protest. Now that she wants to come back home, she, quote, she finds so unworthy of patriotism. Last week, she pleaded guilty in Russian court on charges of bringing vape cartridges containing oils derived of cannabis through a Moscow airport. She said, quote, if you're wondering, yeah, that's illegal. Since her detainment in February, her teammates, coaches, family members, and friends have been petitioning Joe Biden to bring her home, and for good reason. Russia is awful and it's oppressive. Its legal system is questionable at best, and that's being kind. No one is sticking up for Russia here, trust me. The host said. Last week, Griner even wrote a letter to Joe Biden begging him to do something, even trying to butter up old Joe by saying she casted her first vote ever for him in 2020. Well, I want you to hear the next part.
Even trying to butter up old Joe by saying she cast her first vote for him in 2020. So yeah, add Griner to the list of people who owe us Trump supporters some gas and grocery money. But anyway, her pleas have largely fallen on...
I mean, yeah, she said she didn't hold back. Tomi did not. So yeah, add Griner to the list of people who owe Trump supporters some gas and grocery money, she said. But anyway, her pleas have fallen on deaf ears. But luckily, our favorite virtue-signaling, self-anointed king of basketball, LeBron James, is weighing in like a true international diplomat he is. On the latest episode of The Shop, King Baby Braun questions not only whether the USA has Griner's back, but ponders if he'd even want to come home if he was in her shoes. We crushed him for that. James went on the backtrack on those thoughts for being scrutinized for what he said. Oh, man. Over 110 days now. How could she feel like America has her back? By the way, we talked about the fact, I made a video where I was very critical of LeBron, and so has some of the media, believe it or not, about the fact that he did not edit that clip out of that show. Because there was roughly a month that went by where a lot of moving parts happened by way of our government on behalf of Griner, but he did not remove that from the show. It was irresponsible, and it was so obviously a grifting ass hook by LeBron James, without a doubt. He knew that clip was going to get a ton of play. He knew that. But the clip should not have been left in there because the narrative had greatly changed involving Griner, but LeBron, as irresponsible as he always is, didn't do a damn thing about it. That's me saying all that, not Tomi. And Tomi was not done with Griner, who famously protested the national anthem and said it should not be played at WNBA games. Quote, "I can't figure out why Brittney Griner would be clamoring to get back to a nation she finds so unworthy of her patriotism. If the woman can't even drag her sorry behind out of the locker room in a cushy Phoenix, Arizona long enough to stand and salute our flag for under 2-minute duration of our national anthem, well then maybe the USA isn't where she really wants to be. And maybe after sitting in a Russian prison for a bit, she'll understand what a privilege it is to be born in America, be grateful for the USA, the greatest nation on the face of the earth, and I hope she has a change of heart. I really do." Lahren said that there are other detainees in other nations who are far more patriotic and sympathetic than Griner, who we should be working to free. Yeah, look at all of this coverage she's getting. I mean, she is most definitely, as best a WNBA player can, she has absolutely played her fame into getting more help than anybody else would ever get. Maybe Biden should send her a flag and a cassette tape with the Star-Spangled Banner on it to let her get to practicing her patriotism. Damn. Lahren wondered whether or not James and fellow American hater Colin Kaepernick would visit Griner in a Russian prison, as she called the United States, quote, "a nation so great that even those who claim to hate her still beg to return her." Yeah. Well, we're not asking that she gets sent back overnight, and certainly not in a million trillion years, for a weapons dealer named Victor Bout. No way. It's a dangerous trade. I mean, that trade should not happen, and I can't believe we're even considering it for a basketball player. And I can tell you right now, the amount of backlash that is going to come if Brittney Griner gets home and Paul Whelan doesn't is going to be monumental. It's going to be a mushroom cloud of backlash against Joe Biden and the Biden administration if they let her get home without Paul Whelan being involved in that exchange and getting that American home. He's been there a lot longer than her, 2.5 years longer. Then something is very, very wrong. And yeah, her fame did her some good. It's doing her some good right now. You know, his family pretty upset that Biden had contacted Brittney Griner's wife. And then we learned there was correspondence from Biden to Griner, and they hadn't even received a phone call. They finally got a phone call after the Whelan family called out the Biden administration, but it shouldn't have taken that. It shouldn't have taken that. I commend Tomi Lahren. She did not hold back at all. She crushed Brittney Griner on this. It's going to be interesting because I can tell you right now, Griner's going to get back and she's going to be right back in her democratic leftist ways. She won't be swayed by this. And her father is a Vietnam vet and she protested the national anthem. That is scumbag move of monumental proportions. You want to talk about not having your head screwed on straight. That would be it. Tell me what you think, Black and White Sports 2 fans. Make sure you subscribe. We're going to try to do more content on this channel. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.